Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and I am no longer going to be watching Adventure Time. A while back, I made a video rambling about what I didn't like about Adventure Time and how I thought it's changed somehow, but I had a hard time placing my finger on it. Well, this time, I think I finally got it down. And I really hope so, because I've tried to make this video at least 3 other times. It's tough to speak about because I used to really like Adventure Time, and I still really like seasons 2 through 4 a lot. Nothing against season 1, I just think it wasn't as good as the show went on to be. But currently, there is a problem, and it wasn't a problem that I could really pinpoint until I started watching a lot of Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. The problem with Adventure Time is that it is no longer fun. It no longer works on the surface level. Let me explain it like this. See, with Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, and other shows that try to go for deeper themes and a heavier narrative, they operate on 2 levels. There's the surface level, where the cartoon portrays some sort of adventure. Usually it's pretty fun. This is the level that deals with most of the comedy and silliness, and the plot taken at face value, exactly what it is in the episode. But then there's the deeper layer, the layer of which things are metaphorical. The layer where you go deeper and realize that even though on the surface a character's fighting a monster, on the deeper level, maybe the character's monster is a representation of something, or a metaphor for some addiction or some such problem. As an example, let me use one of my favorite Adventure Time episodes, What Was Missing? On the surface level, you have a fun and silly story about how stuff got stolen by this monster that seals things behind magical musical doors, and the heroes have to sing songs and get along in order to make the door open. It's a fun, entertaining, simple story that anyone from young children to elderly people can get into. However, if you look on the deeper level, there's a lot of subtext in the songs they sing. You get to learn about how Finn thinks that his friends see him as just a little brother type and no one takes him seriously. You learn about how Marceline feels burned by bubblegum and is afraid to show enough vulnerability to admit that. These are things that are really interesting and have real-world applications if you want to look into them, but aren't necessary to enjoy the episode. You can just enjoy it as an episode where characters sing songs and have to try to get along to make a door open. Adventure Time nowadays does not have that top level anymore. Every single episode has to be some sort of metaphor for something. Like the episode where the Ice King's furniture comes to life. On the surface, it's a pretty boring story about how the Ice King brings his furniture to life and they don't like him. If you look deeper, yeah, there might be something there about Ice King rejecting people and blah blah blah, but on the surface, there's not enough there to draw me in. After watching that episode, I sat there and kind of felt my time was wasted. Then I went on the Reddit and saw people analyzing it and thought, oh, okay, yeah, there are some deeper themes here, which is cool, but I want to enjoy the thing. I don't want to feel like I have to look into all this stuff and do some deep thinking in order to understand it. When you lose the top layer, the layer that makes it fun to watch your show, I stop caring. I'm not invested anymore, and I don't want to look deeper, so I'm not going to enjoy it, period. We have an entire episode where Finn is astrally projecting himself. What exactly is going on? I have no idea. Maybe it's a metaphor for something, maybe it's hinting at something that'll happen like 100 episodes later, who knows? But as far as the episode itself, that was not an entertaining 11 minutes. Or how about the episode where Sweet Pea, who is the newly reformed Lich, gets taken advantage of by these 2 creepy dudes? That's a story that's ripped straight from Pinocchio. I expect better from Adventure Time, who is known for telling a lot more interesting and unusual stories. But of course, tons of people love the episode because of the scene where, spoilers, it shows that the Lich is still somewhere in Sweet Pea. And hey, that's cool because it means that the Lich might come back in another 100 or whatever episodes. Ugh, that's another thing I hate. The fact that they introduce these plot threads and then don't follow up on them until like 20 episodes later. But in terms of this specific episode, it was pretty boring and played out. The show even acknowledges how stupid it is that the villains were speaking loud enough that Sweet Pea could hear them. Or how about the episode where Jake decides to be a brick in a wall? There may be some really cool deep themes in there if I think about it, but on the surface, it's incredibly boring. I don't find this show fun anymore. I don't find it funny. I don't find it charming in any way. I don't find it wonderfully silly. I'm just so sick and tired of all these episodes that are so somber. They don't feel happy and fun and energetic anymore. They just feel like a major downer. I know this probably sounds like I'm just whining because the show isn't silly enough or funny enough, and that the show has become really mature. The thing is, though, I don't watch these cartoons to specifically analyze them. I analyze them because I enjoy them, because I want to watch the episode over and over again and think about it. If I don't want to watch an episode in the first place, if I didn't like it, why would I try to dig for a deeper theme? Especially when the show really wants to focus on anyone but Finn and Jake. I don't think the show is terrible. I can't get anything out of it anymore. And there are still episodes that I think are really good. Like The Tower, Is That You, Everything's Jake. I think those episodes are great. Of course, I'm gonna watch the movie when it comes out, and I'll watch the miniseries and probably the season finale as well. But as far as watching every Adventure Time episode as they come out, I'm done with that. This show just doesn't know how to make me happy anymore. I suppose I should mention that Pendleton Ward has stepped down at some point in season 5 from being the showrunner. He still has an active involvement, but he is no longer the one in charge, so to speak. And I think it shows. From what I know about Penn, he really likes silly and weird things. I feel like he was the element that was keeping the show fun. And him not being in control anymore has led the show to take what I consider to be a more boring turn. Not that I'm blaming him or anything, but it's certainly no coincidence that the guy in charge steps down right when I notice the decline in quality of the show. So what do you think? Do you still like Adventure Time? Do you think the show's good? Do you think it's changed at all? I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Pieguyrulz, out.